Welcome back. We're continuing our series, Religion in America, where we've been exploring the constellation of faiths that make up the Low Country. Well, this week we welcome our friend, Rabbi Yossi Refson of Chabad of Charleston Center for Jewish Life. We're glad you could be here. It's an important time of year for the Jewish community. We have Passover that is not too far away, but what I wanted to focus on today is the Pew Research study that I found the data really interesting, where we had seen the steady decline in people practicing their faith over the years. For the first time in many years, we're seeing it go in the opposite direction. Maybe you could shed a little bit of light coming from the Jewish perspective of why faith is important or should be important in one's life.
Thank you, Layla. We're seeing similar trends within the Jewish community as well. Surprisingly, post-October 7th, when Israel was attacked by Hamas, we saw a tremendous, I think the Wall Street Journal said, a 43% increase in Jewish connection, which is massive because the Jewish community usually lags behind when it comes to engagement, religious engagement. But sometimes when there is difficulty going on in the world, when things are tumultuous, people recognize that's when faith is important. Faith is that rock, it's that principle, it's something firm, it's constant, which enables people to feel secure and grounded.
And that's an important point that you make, because oftentimes we turn to prayer, we turn to faith when things are going bad, but the point being we should be practicing it when things are going great too. It's there all the time.
Absolutely. Faith really deepens our day-to-day life experience, whether that's joyful times, it makes that joy much more meaningful, and also those difficult times, it takes away the sting and the pain of difficult times because it allows us to rely on that we're not necessarily in control, that there is reason and purpose behind everything that happens in our life.
Indeed, indeed. And that's when you have that faith in God, God's will, and God's will driving force for all things that happen in this world. Of course, we're given free will, so we have to be wise in the way that we choose and how we choose to use it. But when you talk about a faith-filled life for someone who practices Judaism, what does that look like?
So Judaism believes that the creator of the universe, the energy, the force that created the universe, which we call God, created the world which was imperfect. And then he created human beings with free will to perfect the world and to elevate the world to its perfect state. And each and every human being has the opportunity to do that in every moment of their day and life. For Jews specifically, it's through the lens of the 613 commandments which are brought down in the Torah. But for everyone else, it's through their particular faiths. Ethical monotheism is there to elevate the world, and everyone should strive to do their part to raise the world to its perfect state.
What do you think of an agnostic life, a life without any faith?
For me personally, coming from growing up with a life of faith and seeing how meaningful it is and seeing how meaningful it is to the community, people can find meaning in all types of life. But it's like telling someone, for me, like, how can you have tea without sugar? Or how can you go without salt? You know, there's some people that like that way, but it really deepens life's experiences.
Well, Passover is happening April 12th through the 20th, and it begins in a little bit more than a week. Just, if you can, give us a brief explanation of what Passover is and what it means.
So Passover is the celebration of the Israelites' exodus from Egypt, which is really the birth of the Jewish nation. As they went from Egypt, they went to Sinai, the revelation at Sinai, and then they entered into the land of Israel, where they were able to practice and implement the rules of Sinai. So Passover is this holiday, which is really the birth of the Jewish people, where we celebrate the first time the nation came together, not as a tribe, but as a people.
Indeed. Well, a blessed Passover to you and your family.
Thank you so much, Layla.
Thank you. We're back after this.